Ladies and gentlemen, I have to announce officially this video game adaptation is one of the best video game adaptations of all time. Of all time. I'm just gonna say it. Of all time. Don't believe me? I'm just gonna say. I'm just saying.
Get ready for the next battle.
Hello, my name is Vaderfly. I hope you're doing well out there. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the series. My channel, my series. I hope you enjoy it. Please, please, please help me reach 500 before the end of this year. Let's go ahead and get into this. I don't even know why I'm still wearing my gaming headset. I force a habit, I guess. I don't even know anymore. I'm just put it right here. I'm gonna put it right here. All right, because I got to talk about this. Sonic 3 came out, and wow, I'm just gonna say it is probably one of my favorite. This is probably my favorite gaming trilogy of all time. Well, until Sonic 4 comes out in 2027, which they have already announced. And with the ending, yeah, that makes sense what they're going to do for Sonic 4. This by far was a shout out to the fans. This by far was a calling to the fans, letting the fans know that we see you, we care about you. We can't say thank you enough to what you guys basically let us know about in the past with that ugly Sonic to get us to the point where we're today. Without us telling them to get rid of ugly Sonic, we would not have this movie today. 100%, no doubt, would not have this movie today. Because if we're gonna be completely honest about here, let's be honest right here. Sonic 1, not a great plot. Sonic 2, also not that great. Sonic 3, a little better, but it's still not that great, but it has more gravitas in this. We're finally introduced to Shadow and Dr. Robotnik's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, which I know some people complain about, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I kind of expected this at this point. Everything is not one-to-one to the games. They've already done a lot of stuff. Like, we still haven't got a death egg yet, so it's like, yeah, I kind of expected that they're not going to go too close to the source material as possible, but they've gotten close enough where it's respectable to the fans to a point of degree. In my personal opinion, this is almost like in reminiscence of MK1, and I'm talking about MK1 from the 90s, where it's more closer to the source material as they could get without crossing a certain line. And honestly, I think this just hits the nail for me. I know a lot of people are going to complain about that, but I personally think this is a great, like, silver timeline compared to what the crap Halo was trying to do with their series. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I couldn't even finish the first season of Halo. It was that bad. So the plot of this story is basically Shadow's story. If anybody doesn't know, Shadow, more or less the other hedgehog, is found out to be still alive and floating around in a Gun base. He was taken away after a incident between Gun and Gerald Robotnik, and his friend, his best friend that finally understood who he was, Maria, was killed in that incident. If anybody doesn't know, sorry, spoilers. I do apologize. I'm just so hyped. Oh my god, this movie was so good. This movie is exactly what I've been wanting for a while, but let me get back to the plot. So after this, Shadow is woken up and he now goes back on this rampage to go take down all the people that did him wrong. Twists and turns arise, and we get to see a lot of cool things in this movie, and Jesus Christ, this was amazing. I was a little worried about Keanu Reeves' performance, but honestly, he felt so natural. I'm not even kidding when I say this. He felt so natural being Shadow the Hedgehog. It was like the role was made for him. Like, I complain about how they don't take voice actors from TV and gaming and put them for live action experiences. Honestly, Ben Schwartz, Idris Elba, and Keanu Reeves has been putting in the work. You know, they have really dived into their characters, and it really shows in this movie. They are allowed to be more of themselves, especially Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is eating up the scenes in this movie. He is eating the scenes up so much because there's two of him in this movie, because he's playing Gerald and Ivo, and he is just so much fun. This honestly reminded me of like a 90s movie. It seriously, it reminds me of a 90s movie. I think we're going back, guys. I think we're going back. After the teaser trailer for Superman and this, I'm telling you, I think we are finally going back and finally understanding that you don't need to be dark and gritty. Sometimes you can just have fun. There's a good message. There's a good, you know, the soundtrack on point. Did it have every song I would like? No. There was one song I was hoping for. Didn't happen, but that's okay. I'm okay for it. The one song that I got, which is my favorite song, oh yeah. Mind you, the music is one of the most integral things in this video game movie. The other two Sonic movies, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, the other two Sonic movies, the music just kind of feels like they put it there because it needs to be there, you know? It needs to have a soundtrack, right? Or score, I meant to say. But this one felt like this was right. Like, it's something about this soundtrack. They tied it into the plot. Like, there are soundtracks where you notice like musical cues and they tie it to the plot. This was very like, they tied songs to the plot to the point where you're like, okay, cool. The hidden Easter eggs in this movie, if you're a Sonic fan and you don't understand Sonic lore, you're gonna love it. You're gonna geek out when you see things and you're just like, oh my god, they did what? Overall, this is what I was kind of talking about, like, compared to Transformers 1. Like, once again, I love Transformers 1. I did love that movie. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people gave me crap because they were like, well, you know, you're talking about how Megatron was forced. Yeah, it felt forced because it just did. I'm sorry. Here, it just felt like everything was natural. It just feels like, it feels so good watching these characters on screen. And you follow the journey from Sonic 1 all the way to Sonic 3 and just absolutely amazing all the way around. I'm just gushing about this, and I'm not going to spoil anything until you guys see it. I'll probably do a spoiler video later, but honestly, please go see this. Support this movie with Sonic 1. Go support this movie because we would not be here if we didn't ask for the changes. And I was one of those that asked for the changes. I wasn't very like vulgar about it, but I definitely asked for the changes. And when they did that, I think they deserve our money at this point. They really do for those changes, because if we didn't get those changes, oh boy. Needless to say, what I have to say about this movie, it is a cohesive story. It is probably, like I said, one of my favorite video game movies franchise. I never thought I was gonna say this in my lifetime. It is one of my favorite video game franchises. Like I said, the plot is nothing to write home about. Let's not be serious here. The plot is seriously nothing to write home about. Literally, Sonic 1's plot was the plot of Hop. If you ever seen Hop, the movie with James Marsden and the Easter Bunny, it's literally that. Easter Bunny or Creature finds James Marsden. They go on this cross-country adventure. Shenanigans happens, and then Creature and Human wins to save the day. That's the plot of Sonic 1, and you're just so happy about it. And then plot of Sonic 2, it's kind of almost the same thing, but you have a little more in depth. They focus a little more on the humans. Oh, and that's another thing. The humans are a backseat in this movie. Finally, the humans are more of a backseat, and the creatures are more the characters that you focus on. You focus on Sonic and his team. You're focusing on Shadow. That's what we're focusing on, and which I love that. That's what I'm coming here to pay for. I don't care about James Marsden. Yes, I love him, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not here for you, dude. I'm here for fucking Sonic, and I'm here for Shadow. And the same way with Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey. I love him to death, but I'm not here for Jim Carrey. Well, okay, I'm telling a lie, but I'm still here for Sonic and Shadow. This was an amazing movie. Please go support this movie, because if you support movies like this, it gives the studios an idea of what we want. And man, oh my god, I'm so happy about this movie. I cannot tell you enough how happy I am about this movie and how stoked. And this was it. I think we're going back, guys. I think we're going back to a time period where we make movies about hope and positivity and not be fucking so depressing. I'm starting to even hear that in our music. Slowly, it's starting to change too. Like, things are starting to slowly change on our music scene too. So maybe this is it. Maybe we're in a new era that's gonna we're gonna start seeing a lot of positive changes, which, let's go. So what did you think? What did you think about Sonic the Hedgehog? Oh, before I finish this, I give Sonic the Hedgehog a 8.5 out of 10. This movie, I solidly recommend. There are some parts in this movie that I do have problems with, but it's still good. It's just so good. India, what did you guys think about it? How did you guys like it? Did you love Sonic the Hedgehog, the first movie? Which is your favorite Sonic movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Is it Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3? Is it Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic 1? I don't care. Let me know. Also, let me know what your favorite Sonic game is if you're a Sonic fan in general. My personal favorite Sonic game is Sonic 2 on the Sega Genesis. And my 3D favorite one, honestly, is Sonic Adventure 1. It's just always been my favorite. I understand why people like Sonic 2. It's just not been my favorite one. I still need to play Sonic Frontiers, to be completely honest with you. But once I play that, maybe my thoughts will change. Anyways, my name is Vaderfly. Please help me get to 500 subscribers. I love you guys. Please also follow me on my Instagram. My name is the King of Dreamers. You will find me there, and I am cosplaying to change the future. That sounds a little bragging, but you know what? I don't care. I got to see Sonic 3, and it was amazing. Go see it. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.